Hi guys, my name is Julia Emme and welcome to my channel. I speak about astrology, astropsychology, we speak about feminine and masculine and how to actually balance your life with all of this knowledge and how to use the astrology chart to kind of like a helping tool for yourself to attain balance and like fulfillment in your inner world to live the life you kind of wanted and not just suffer and seeing life as a burden. So astrology for us is a great tool, and right now especially in the eclipse season, it's just finished. The Virgo Pisces axis is being activated by moon and sun eclipses, with also very interesting thing that Saturn in retrograde position is coming into Pisces. By the way, I'm using the both Vedic and Western system. I studied them both, Vedic's like more than 10 years and Western just maybe several last years, but they both work. And according to Western, I use the whole sign system. So in both of the systems, right now Saturn is retrograding in the Pisces axis. And why it's very interesting for us, it's like what it actually wants us to understand. I want you to think about the things which you have been dreaming for a while. Because what is all about? When we see that the eclipse axis is happening on the Virgo Pisces signs, it means that something in these placements in your chart, you have to look for these signs in your chart, something is going to change. And it's like it's triggering, one triggering another. Let's say when you have the South Node in Virgo, in some specific house, let's say the fourth house, so something about your inner world, something about the place where you live, something about your family is going to be triggered. So it will have influence on the opposite house where the North Node sits in the career field, in Pisces. If you have on the opposite South Node sitting in Virgo, transiting your 10th house, it can influence, something can change or happen in your career field. You can make some decisions, something can go differently, and it will trigger you in the fourth house where you have your North Node. It's like your inner peace, your inner world, your space where you live, maybe relationship with your family or with your mother. Something is going to change because of that. So let's say, for example, you got promoted at work and you make amends with somebody in your family, or it makes you happy, or you have to move or relocate because of the career. So axis, the eclipse axis, it's always something like what we cannot longer kind of procrastinate or go in that type of way how it was before. So the eclipses always happens when it's time for us to abrupt something, like something should be kind of switch off to switch on something new. So it's always a cycle, like a new cycle, the opening of new cycle. And what's interesting for us is that when we have Saturn in retrograde position involved into these eclipses, we can see very interesting thing. Saturn is what? Saturn usually sits in the house where we need to get mature in the chart. So let's say you have Saturn in the 7th house in your chart. So it means that you will have delays and problems and different obstacles in your partnerships or business building or whatever connected to the 7th house issues until you get matured. So Saturn wants you to be serious about like yourself in the perspective of this thing, not just focus too much energy on the partnership and neglect all other life. For example, when we are being focused too much on the area where we have Saturn, so we are taking this area way too serious, and we neglect kind of all our life. This is why we have problems in the place where we have Saturn sitting. And in the same moment, Saturn wants us, like, be mature. Realize that it's important to grow as a personality. I don't know, grow your career, build good relationship with friends and family, like, have hobbies, like, live your life, be mature, and then you will meet a mature partner with who you can build a like mature relationship. Or, for example, you are maturing as a personality and you are able to build a good business. So Seven House is also connected to business. And your community, like people who you meet in life, they're going to be like more serious and interested, maybe career oriented, or something like what you have always been struggling to have with these people. So to sum up, Saturn shows the placement where we are kind of way too serious about focusing too much because it's very complicated and we think that we need it so much, but actually we need to grow up and to mature to get it. And so Saturn in transit kind of has a similar taste. And when Saturn comes in Pisces, it actually wants us to be kind of more mature about the ideas or plans we have built for the recent times. That's why we actually have this eclipse energy on this axis, because for some reason something about the North Node placement must be expanded, and it's Pisces energy. So the Pisces placement in your chart, something about it has to change. It has to go through some transformation, so it kind of makes your soul kind of feel more evolved in some way. And so Saturn is coming there and saying, okay, I hear you. Ideas and your dreams are wonderful. What are you actually going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do in a serious way? Like, what's are practical steps are you ready to do? Like, what are you ready to sacrifice? For example, are you ready to wake up early to achieve your goals? For example, so in a half of a year when Saturn will leave Pisces, will go back into Aries, which is actually again like a new cycle. Aries is the first sign after the Pisces, like the cycle ended, a new cycle begins. And so to begin new things, like literally begin, Saturn is going to the Aries in February, but till then it comes back for the last step in Pisces and say, okay, your dreams are interesting and wonderful, but how long are you going to procrastinate and to like kind of ignore the things which actually like you thought were okay, but it's not. Let's say having this South Node in 4th house and Rahu, North Node in 10th house in Pisces with Saturn. Right now, it's going to ask you, are you sure that you're satisfied with the work you have? Is it giving you fulfillment in your heart? 4th house, are you kind of truly enjoying your life? And this is what you actually want to do for your career field? And if it's not, what the serious steps are you going to do? And the person with such position, for example, in their chart, let's say person is working somewhere in McDonald's, like physically, and dreaming every day before sleep, like, wow, it would be so great to like, I don't know, travel the world or work from home, not being like, not having this option to just always go and work for someone. You know, this dream, everything is about dreams, because you feel that you're not satisfied in your 1st house, in your inner world. So it's like you have no peace because you're not really enjoying the things which you do in your career field. Even if it sounds something cool and popular for people around you, it's still not making you happy. And then you're asking this question, what you can do about it? And Saturn wants you to do something tangible and real, like to be serious, like a Capricorn energy, which is ruled by Saturn. Like make a plan, be strategic, like make your dream your reality. It doesn't mean it's not possible to achieve what you want. But what if you, for example, save some money for a few months, buy a computer, like a good computer, so you can, for example, go and study for like some, for example, some programs on the computer which you have always been interested in. And in half of a year, you're ending your course, you're applying for the job which you can do on your computer, for example, like, I don't know, web designer, whatever, everything from that, what you have learned. And now you're going into a new chapter where you have better salary, you have changing your job, you have, for example, more options of where you can live right now, so you can relocate. And this fourth and house is being like triggered by it. For example, it's a first house. So you have South Node in your 7th house. You are kind of aware that something about your partnerships or business project or something like that doesn't make you really happy, or you don't have it, or what you have, it's not like what you actually want. And when you realize it, you have something like an expansion of understanding like who you are. Like you're going into the direction of the first house where the North Node sits, and it's like, who am I? Like, what is actually working for me? Like, what I want to do in life? Like, you understand, like, that your authentic self is actually not in alignment with the life you're kind of having. And Saturn here comes like, okay, what are you going to do with this? Or you're going to suffer? Like, are you going just to remain this discomfort? Because Saturn gives us problems. Saturn may give in the first house something connected to our or self-image or maybe physical body. So it doesn't mean something really hard, but something complicated which makes us, for example, sit at home or like, how to say it, kind of detach from the outside world and rethink about who you are, how you want to appear to the world, how you want the world to see. And when you are making this transformation, it will also change your 7th house of partnership with the South Node. So they are two triggered because of your change in your personality. Let's say you have been working in the corporate job, like earning good money, but not having time even to spend it. That's why you kind of neglected your health for some time, and you don't really feel good. And you have a partner who also living their, I don't know, career life. So you meet only at night and you don't feel really satisfied with what you're having. Because people who have Virgo in the house of partnerships, they kind of... Virgo energy always wants it to be... I don't know how to put it into words, like nourishing, or it's something has to be what helps you to be the better self. It's not just someone to, I don't know, meet from time to time. It's someone who is kind of taking care about your health, or someone you are taking care, like you're giving something like a service to each other. But service, this word is not really explaining what people do in the relationship, but the kind of like helping each other in somehow, so kind of being involved in each other's life. So because Virgo wants to be of help, so you want to feel that you're of help to your partner, or your partner is involved into your life or health or routine or whatever. And for example, you're not having it, like you feel like this person is just who they are. You don't even have a conversation. I mean, and you keep asking this, and this influences your personality. You ask yourself who you are, first house. What do you actually wanted from a partner? You kind of tune into your Pisces energy of your dreaming or romanticizing life, or like maybe even spirituality. You understand maybe that all of this corporate life is not exactly for you, and you, for example, decide that you want to make a big pause for yourself, and you run away on some retreat. Pisces energy is about, kind of losing yourself somewhere far away. And so you're making this thing and you feel fulfilled. You're going barefoot. You don't have to wake up by the alarm. You're doing yoga and meditation. And you kind of get an understanding that you are actually not the person who you will always been, and who you were trying to show the self-image in the first house for whole your life to the society. And that's why you, for example, decide that you want changes in your partnership. Seventh house also. Seventh house, the people who we are surrounded by. So people who we meet. And for example, you live on your island in the retreat center, maybe you volunteer there, so you kind of change everything. And so you're surrounded by spiritual people. They're very different. They're taking care about their routine. You are being of service for them. For example, you are helping this retreat center to, I don't know, in whatever, like strategy, something what you have been doing in your corporate world, you know how to help in that direction. And so you have absolutely new connections, new community, and like the feeling of life is different. Let's say axis 5-11, south node in the 5th house and 11th house north node, Pisces, together with Saturn. And so Saturn comes, for example, in 11th house, gives some problems in your friendship circle, and you ask yourself, I don't feel like I want to tolerate this kind of things in my friendship. I mean, you have a friend who have been doing something for a while, and you kind of used to think that I can understand it, it's no problem, people... But for example, you are tired, or you feel that it's not going to, like, it's not worth that joy. For example, 5th house is about the joy we have. And so you ask yourself, are you ready to sacrifice the joy and pleasure which you have, like this fun part about, or maybe it's a friendship from childhood, and like to detach from this person, because this person, like Saturn comes, triggers something, and you're like, I'm not sure I want to tolerate this. And so you are changing this, or changing the community. 11th house is about different friendship circles, community circles. Like, let's say you understand that you have been attending, I don't know, some classes of some language for the last 1 or 2 years, but you're absolutely not satisfied. You don't want to do that. You're kind of giving up because you're tired to suffer, to like forcing yourself that you need it. No, you're not. It's not giving you any happiness or any joy anymore. And this Saturn with this hard part, like whatever will come with Saturn, will give some discomfort. And it's like, okay, it's discomfort, but are you ready to mature through this discomfort? Like, are you ready to do something about it? Like, analyze it. Why you don't like it? What you want to have different in your future, in your next chapters of your life? And here, like, yeah, this is it. It makes sense. And when we are honest with ourselves, we realize that sometimes. It's important to give something up to evolve. So this is exactly what this axis with Saturn retrograde wants from us. But it doesn't mean you have to do it just right now, like cut everything you have. But just notice the discomfort which you are experiencing. And after New Year, start to think to go in the new direction. In retrograde period, we need to kind of make something what we already done, but better. Like come to something what we already done or not done, and kind of do it from the different mindset. It wants us not to just run away from the experience we have or just cut friendships, but wants us to try another vision. Get your experience when Saturn finish retrograde position. It's I think it's the end of November. You will be like, yeah, like closer to New Year, you will kind of understand what lessons it has been given to you. And after New Year, it's like a good time to start a new steps in a new way of living. When Saturn is going to enter Aries, it's like completely different energy. There, Saturn will want you to go slowly, in a slow pace, because Aries is about initiating stuff, running ahead your legs. I mean, just hurry up. But Saturn said, no. Good job, cool plan. Like, I like your first steps, but patiently, step by step. You will go where you want. Just do not run. Do not force it. This is what Saturn will teach you exactly in Aries. But till then, it wants you to come back into your inner world, to your kind of your subconscious, and to make something like a decision, a belief that you need something to change in order to become like something, a new version of yourself. To make it more clear, it's when you are deciding through different complex stuff, complicated, you're thinking like how you actually want your life to be, or some sphere of life. You're visualizing it, Pisces. You understand that it's worth your effort. So Saturn gives you some problems there, triggers you to think, rethink how to upgrade it. North Node always wants us to upgrade it somehow, to kind of focus in that direction, because it will bring some change, and it's needed change in the opposite house where the South Node sits. Something there should be kind of left behind. And so by having the vision of the kind of life you want to have, you are doing the work to make it real. And this work is connected to how to energetically, so you have a vision, you feel it somehow, and you make steps how to energetically move into that direction. So this is how your energy becomes more mature. This is what Saturn wants from you. So you can get what you actually want, but you have to shift, like make this move from the energy field where you are right now, with creating the world which you created by the energy you have, like the beliefs you have. So it wants you to believe in your dreams, make practical steps in order to change your own frequency to the level of the frequency of the person who you are going to be when you are living that life which you are dreaming about. And this way is going to happen till the February, when Saturn goes to Aries, when you're already in the first phase of being this person, going your like steps in your new life or new circumstances. So when you analyze this from this position, in which direction Saturn wants you to become more mature, you are actually kind of building another part of yourself and expanding in the direction where this North Node is sitting and wants you to expand. And this is how we get the fulfillment, like life becomes more like we feel it better when we follow these energy tendencies. Because if we don't follow, we ignore the signs, Saturn will just bring some complexity. We are not going anywhere, we are stuck. And so it's like problems are growing in this field just to trigger you to shift to the new perspective about yourself in this area. Okay, if you have personal questions, I do coaching sessions if you're interested, and the link is down below for the calendar. And see you in the next videos. Bye-bye.